and welcome to the NALA Newscast. We're your hosts. I'm Julia.
And I'm Sara, and today we're going to look back at what's been happening at Newton South High School over the past few weeks.
But first... we learned how a group of students use social media to raise awareness about American Sign Language.
Talk to a teacher about the ongoing teacher contract negotiations.
Review highlights from the spring sports season.
And feature Newton South Student Corps, a new community service club at South.
American Sign Language is a lesser-known class at South. These students are trying to change this.
Let's take a look.
My name is Julie, and my name sign's like that.
Hi, my name is Carissa, and my name sign is this.
Hi, my name is Caitlin. My name sign is this.
We're here to teach you guys about
American
Sign
language.
3 American Sign Language students started an Instagram page to teach South students a new ASL sign every day.
We all collectively wanted to start this because we want to bring a lot more awareness and enthusiasm overall for ASL, because we feel like especially at South and just in general, it's a really underrated language and people don't really talk about trying to learn it and don't really talk about deaf people in general. So I think it's really important. Deaf people make up a huge population in America and all across the world too. So it's a really important language.
People have come up to me because they, my friends know I take sign language, and ask what a few signs are. So this Instagram is easy, and you can just go up, scroll, and pick a video and learn a new sign.
Some people can't fit the class into their schedule, or there's just some complication with it. And so when it's on Instagram, a lot of people use Instagram, so when they're just scrolling through, they can see it and just learn a new sign.
A lot of people have come up to me and been like, hello, today's sign of the day, because that's everyone likes that one.
I get really happy when I just see people walking up to me in the hallways and saying, oh, I learned this new sign, can I show you, am I doing it right? We're getting all this really positive, nice praise. And it's really great. I think there's much more popularity than any of us thought there would be.
At first, the group struggled to find a balance between respecting the language and teaching the signs in an accessible way.
Our ASL teacher, when we showed her the Instagram page, she didn't like how we were speaking and signing at the same time, because that's kind of enforcing this false idea that ASL is really just a translation of English, just using your hands, and it kind of takes away from the real legitimacy of ASL. By speaking them at the same time, because you don't speak Spanish and English at the same time, and it's the exact same thing with that. It's its own grammar, and it's really hard to kind of cram ASL into the English grammar because they're really different. We tried doing closed captioning with subtitles, but that was getting people thought it was hard to look at our signing and learn the signs and be reading at the bottom at the same time. So then we switched to voiceover, which seems to be kind of the best of both worlds, because it's us talking but also us using the correct ASL grammar, so we're not taking away from real ASL.
The group recognizes that learning ASL is an important way for the hearing community to acknowledge and interact with deaf culture.
I think that the responsibility of communicating with deaf people shouldn't just be on deaf people, but also on hearing people. And so they should learn, or we should learn ASL so that we can communicate with more people.
Deaf culture is a really cool thing, deaf events and deaf schools and deaf everything. It's a really just cool culture to be a part of. And I think learning the language, you're also, whether you like it or not, you're learning about deaf culture as well.
I've gone to a few deaf events, and I've also been able to sign with new people I haven't really been able to before if I didn't know sign language. And I've been able to connect with the new community. I guess I'm more included now that I can sign with some people. Before, if I could only talk, it's also kind of not as respectful, because you're assuming that a deaf person can lip read. And when you're signing, it's in their native language. Check out our Instagram page.
It's NSHS ASL.
Bye!
Wow, I've been following their Instagram for a while now, and their videos are a great addition to my feed.
Definitely, make sure to check out @NSHS ASL on Instagram.
Now, you may have noticed the red Newton Teachers Association t-shirts that fill the hallway on Tuesdays.
Well, we sat down with Mr. Youngman to talk about NTA's push for a fair contract and why it should matter to students.
This past year, the Newton Teachers Association has been fighting for a better contract. We sat down with South music teacher Mr. Youngman to discuss some of the issues educators are facing.
When you are having a contractual disagreement, usually what happens is that either side, be it the administration or the staff, will say, you do what the contract says. It's our binding agreement. So, for instance, some of these petitions that we've signed are directly because there is not contract language that says that we have to do these tasks. Teachers do many tasks that are not compensated. And usually what happens is you have a positive working environment and that people are paid and they don't feel like they're being taken advantage of. And I think that unfortunately we are entering a period where we are having a lot of difficulty making that the contract and the how you say that the environment work for both sides.
In response to these disagreements, many Newton teachers signed a petition leading up to South's graduation asking Mayor Ruth Ann Fuller not to attend the ceremony.
I signed it, as did over 80% of the school. That's never happened before. In fact, many of these petitions have not happened before when over 80% of the teaching population is signing it. It's evidence that this is not business as usual. And the thing that I worry about is that we're all on the same team. But when part of the team is suffering and having a lot of difficulty making ends meet, when I see my colleagues commuting from Salem or barely able to pay their bills, I feel like it's really important that we act. I think it's really important that students pay attention to these things, and I would hope that they know that the adults are trying to work out a solution for the betterment of your education, because that's why everybody here that's why we're here.
What an important topic. I'm glad to know more.
I totally agree. Teachers are so important to our school.
Here's Nora with sports.
This is Nora with your sports update. Spring was a great season for South sports, and we're going to show you some highlights today. One great team this season was the boys volleyball team. They made it all the way to play the finals game against North. Hannah Kim brought us some clips from their semifinals game against Needham. As you can see, the boys were bumping, setting, and spiking up a storm, and they did a great job. Even though they didn't win the finals, we're still very proud of them. Track team also had a great season this year. Megan Walsh brings us behind the scenes with some fun clips. all the spring sports teams. We're looking forward to another great season in the fall. Back to news.
Thanks, Nora. It's good to keep up with New and South sports teams.
Now, on to our club feature.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
Hi, I'm Jack.
Hi, I'm David.
And we're the Newton South Student Corps.
So I'm the president. I help organize the events that we do every other week, sometimes weekly.
I am the secretary. I coordinate with people outside of the Student Corps to organize the location and the time of our projects.
And I'm the treasurer. I help manage the funds and the donations.
Okay, so we're the Newton South chapter to a national organization called Student Corps. And we organize events that help our community, like clothes drives, food drives, stuff like that. And yeah.
Okay, so welcome to the April 8th Student Corps meeting.
Dude, hello? Well, I wasn't the one who originally had the idea to do this. That was Kevin. And he had the idea because he was talking with some members of the other branch of Student Corps in Lexington, I think. And he thought it was a good idea, and he liked the idea of the organization, and so we created a chapter here.
Our mission is to give back to the community and promote awareness of different issues and let others also give back to the community as well.
We don't have any real policy on people joining. Essentially, if you want to join and you're confident that you can be semi-active in helping out with the various drives that we do on a bi-weekly basis, then you can join.
You don't even need to show up to most of the meetings. As long as you show up to some of the events, you're really fine.
They're held on Monday J blocks, usually at the Media Lab Room 6110. If you care about giving back to the community, I think it is really important that you join the club, and your help would be greatly appreciated.
It'll be fun.
This week, Valerie gives us a look into Newton South Student Corps, a new club with a big mission.
If you're looking for some community service, maybe you should join the Student Corps.
Looking back, it's really been a wonderful year at South.
We're so happy to be part of such a vibrant school with so many successful sports and clubs.
If you have a story you want to be featured on NALA's Newscast, let us know.
We're looking forward to another great year, and we'll see you in the fall.
That's a wrap on the NALA Newscast. Yeah.